When Kathryn Hahn first came into Marvel Studios, it was actually for a general meeting. She was an actor that we very much wanted to work with, and we wanted to see what could be a good fit.
Okie dokie, neighbor.
Agatha was a fairly obscure character from the comics, but Kathryn made her all her own.
You didn't think you were the only magical girl in town, did you?
There was literally no discussion of it continuing past WandaVision. Like, you always know that there's a possibility, I think, in the Marvel world, but there was certainly no expectation that this centuries-old witch buried deep within the archives of the Marvel comics was going to be making a comeback after WandaVision.
When we cast Kathryn Hahn, we had high hopes that she would bring so much to the role, but I think it didn't really hit until Agatha All Along dropped and the song became a sensation.
And I killed Sparky too.
All of a sudden my face was like a meme, and my kids had to tell me what a meme was, and then I was like a GIF. The whole thing was like so out of body.
It was so much bigger than we anticipated. And then when I came back to Marvel and started developing some ideas for different shows, every show concept I had an Agatha piece to it. You know, no matter what character or what world, there was always, you know. And then in episode 104, Agatha comes in, and Kevin finally said, should we be doing a show based on Agatha? And then it became, why aren't we doing a show based on Agatha?
Well, I'm exceptional.
Lou Esposito from Marvel said, can we hop on the phone? You know, I knew that it was something Marvel, but maybe a cameo, or I had no idea. And then he said, how about your own series? And I just about crapped my pants, pardon my French.
I can't believe any of this is happening.
The pilot is major WandaVision vibes because we are starting inside of a TV genre.
The chief calls and tells me hibernation's over. We got a case only you can solve.
When we were doing WandaVision, it was never parody. We just dropped into each of those styles, and we wanted to do that again, but we wanted to be through Agatha's lens.
Well, who better to solve the mystery than one of Westview's very own?
We had so much fun making the Agnes of Westview, our little like crime show within the show.
This is our morgue set, which is the location of the climax of our pilot episode. Detective Agnes O'Connor has been trying to figure out the identity of a Jane Doe in a murder case. And all of the clues and plot points, they lead her to this location where she sees the body and figures out that it's Wanda Maximoff.
That witch is gone, leaving you trapped in her distorted spell. But you don't have to stay there, do you?
One of the things that I was so excited to hear was that this show is going to try to rely more on the practical magic.
Start it here, and then if you can turn your body as you're doing it, we cut when it's over your face.
In executing these things practically, there's an enduring effect that it has on the storytelling.
Is it hot?
Yes, claw your way out.
Not only do we get to do fantasy, and we get to do contemporary, and we get to do comedy, but we also get to do true period garments.
It's gonna be an adventure. Everybody ready? Because who knows what's gonna come out.
We really thought it was important to tell the entire story of the periods that she had done previously in WandaVision. And so I fought very hard to make sure that we could actually physically do it on the day. So we really rehearsed it kind of like, you know, musical theater costume changes. And we had to plan out very specifically how we would underdress one costume and put the sweater over the top of this, and then the camera would cut up this way so that we didn't have to do the pants for that one. And it was choreographed within an inch of its life.
We're here to make up the wardrobe.
Thank you so much. Adore you all so much.
It's my belief about Agatha that her true self, like her best self, is mentor, that she's in fact a frustrated mentor. And so what we wanted for this show was an opportunity to pair her with someone. I mean, she's still a nasty mentor and a mean mentor, but she is a teacher. She really, really is.
Does this look centered?
Let me see. Maybe if I just put it a little more to the
The Agatha-team relationship is so complicated and there's so many layers to it. And so having Agatha as like a motherly figure to teach him how to be a witch is really quite lovely. And Catherine's just so easy to work with, and I think we've got great chemistry.
I feel really optimistic about this.
Aw, that's sweet.
We had a chemistry read.
We walked in and we both had the same
Black Vans on that day, which I thought was a good omen, our black shoes.
these same pair of Vans on that I then didn't take off for a month after that because until I found out if I got the part or not. I was like, this is a good luck charm. I cannot take these shoes off.
I want to work with you, Detective Agatha. I'm a rule follower, a team player. Some might say codependent.
There's something so incredibly deep about him as a performer and as a person.
What I loved about this script is that it shows like different types of superheroes. Like Billy is openly gay. He's not like the norm of teenagers. And I just really loved showing the differences within the Marvel universe that aren't just the muscly 6-foot superhero.
So you broke the rules. Big deal. That's what makes you special.
You know, in any MCU property, you have to have a villain or some kind of counterpoint. And so we talked at length about who would be a foe for Agatha. And so this notion of Death herself being the adversary for Agatha felt so right.
I've missed you.
I hate you.
We were just so delighted that Catherine and Aubrey know each other outside of the Marvel space. And so they had an instant chemistry. It just felt serendipitous.
Fate has her way with us once again.
Catherine called me and told me about the character. It just seemed so fun because I essentially get to play multiple characters in one, which is kind of my favorite. I get to play a cop, like an FBI agent, Agent Rio, and then I get to play the Green Witch, and then my final form as Lady Death.
If you're going to have somebody who can go toe-to-toe with Catherine Hahn, you can't really do better than Aubrey Plaza.
I just feel so in tune with her. We really lucked out.
Admit it. You prefer me.
Horizontal? In a grave?
Let me get my purple back. And then come find me.
When Agatha gets out from under Wanda's spell, she has 0 power.
For the first time in a long time, you're vulnerable.
She realizes the shortcut to getting her power back is to walk the witch's road, where a powered down witch can travel it to power herself back up. The catch is, in order to walk the road, you have to form a coven. And this was all born of the idea of like, what would be the hardest thing for Agatha Harkness to do? And it would be forming a coven.
Wherever you are, a coven there shall be.
That's beautiful.
No, it's definitely not.
Well, me, Catherine, am really blessed by this coven. It's a real delightful group.
What witch in her right mind would join Agatha Harkness's coven?
Not looking for right-minded witches, as it happens.
When I talked to Jack on the phone, and she told me that it was a Sicilian witch whose power was divination and her trial was tarot. First of all, I am a Sicilian. I do think I am a witch. And in American Horror Story, I was this bathhouse singer that started to do tarot. I thought, wait a minute, I seem to be following some sort of pattern. So it was divined that I should continue on this path.
Let's talk scars.
Oh,
yes. Look at mine. Oh, what is that? That's a vampire bite.
Right after I knocked out his other two.
Yeah.
I was a fan of WandaVision when it came out, and I didn't realize how many witches were already in the Marvel universe. So once I knew that this show was going to be a thing and that there was a possibility of being a part of it, I was over the moon.
You're bound.
And you need a chemical peel.
This is never gonna work. As soon as I got the audition sites, I was like, Catherine Hahn? Yes! You know, who doesn't want to be a witch? I mean, that's like a childhood dream.
What if you could finally answer the question that has haunted you for most of your life?
It feels like, you know, art imitating life. It feels like everyone came to this show wanting to get something out of it, and I think we have.
If you want to unbind, and you want to reverse your fortune, and you want to find out what happened to Mommy, and you...
Wait, where's Mrs. Hart?
You know, I was in a small town in WandaVision, and I thought, well, they'll be moving on from this small town. Oh, I haven't been to a party since Mr. Davis passed away.
So are you in or you out, Hart?
I was so flattered. So I would have said yes to anything at that point, you know, the flattery alone.
All right, gang's all here. Let's hit the road.
Our costume designer, Daniel Salone, who we worked with on WandaVision, has created some incredibly iconic looks.
The witches will all have what we call their home looks. They're their road looks.